see. All right. So let's get down to business here. Recorded a 4-minute track for Endgame, which I'm going to kind of split up and edit in segments. First, I wonder if there's like a chair or something I can work with. Even like a dummy. Yeah, that could work. The props. You have a bench. Okay. I think this could work, but let's try it out. Actually, I'm not familiar. I don't know how to work this. Anyway, yeah, I really haven't experimented with this. I just want a basic chair where a character sits down. I wonder if there's like, well, let's just do mocap online, and I'll look into that much later. Right now, I just want to get like a dummy, something for the character to interact. Yeah, we could do, yeah, let's just use a mannequin. Okay. All right, so let's apply a motion here through mocap online. And then I'm going to have to sub it with some of my own motion capture for Bond. I think it was called Scared. Because there was like handcuffs or something in the chair. Hostage. Scared, crying, beg for life, lay on ground, gunpoint. Wasn't there like a hostage locked up, tied to chair? That's it. Okay. There we are. I would put the chair a little higher, but that's what I might do. And let's just put the character 0, 0, and then I'll just put like a dummy, so I know. I'm thinking let's slightly move here and here. Do this. Head motion slightly up like this. So the character's gonna be tied up to a chair that's kind of electrified and grounded to the floor. So it's kind of fastened. It's hard to get out. He can't just simply move, so he's just stuck. Eventually, he's going to get out, and that's gonna be because of one of Q's gadgets. But first, he's got to go through his usual monologue we usually see in these movies. Anyway, yeah, dummy's pretty easy. I'm just going to do this. I'm just gonna make another one of these here. Oops, sorry. I'm thinking Unreal Engine. Like the commands are a little different. Yeah, something like this, you know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a dummy. I just need something for him to sit. Okay. and he just needs to look at the character. So he's going to look forward here. None of that. Maybe I should actually add one more dummy. And that's going to be a table full of stuff. So obviously we have our scene. Probably put a dummy in for groundskeep. He'll probably be over here. I'll probably work with that later. But first, let's just make sure. So the first thing I need to do is just make sure that the voice is edited. We're going to have to do some editing here. Probably going to have to move the legs and everything, make sure it works. So this is kind of like the initial capture. Just me messing around with the computer. You can see some of the shoulder work here. We need to edit that. And action. Notice this here. So I'll have them kind of interact with this dummy. Probably turn a little bit here. Kind of turn the knees. But for the most part, I'm going to only did the upper body. Maybe I should have actually. No, I think I'm just going to shoot upper body. Probably added a couple things. So it'll make sense once I add the voices in and match it. Then you're gonna fully see. Yeah, for this one I kind of recorded that way the feet don't glide a bit, but the only problem is, yeah, we have some twisting, but that's okay. I'll probably actually fix it, instead of like twisting, probably just twist some part or have them turn a bit. I think that would probably make sense. Just, since he's here, probably turn here, have this direction here, and then kind of twist the body and make some adjustments. So he turns, right there, kind of looks down. All right, so let's get our table going. Oops, I'm always thinking it's alt. My bad. That's, like I said, that's Unreal. So here, there's probably gonna be a bunch of stuff here. He looks over. There's a glass. There. So this is kind of like how I work on my animations, like how I set up a scene. And then, I'll probably have groundskeep somewhere over here, I guess. Or over here looking on. Camera angle. Probably gonna put here. The two shot. Maybe groundskeep standing here. I don't know. I don't know how where I'm going to put groundskeep. But for now, I want to kind of maintain here. So let's begin. Let's get the voices. And now that I have my scene set up, I want to go through here. Then obviously, what I'm probably going to do is go through a few things here. So, all right, let's go to create script. Go to Eclipse and go to cast lines, Mickelson, interrogation, and the lines is, I think it's good to see you. again, Mr. Bond.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
And he would react. Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Try again.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
I think this could work. It might crash. Yes. Yamazaki 25. I had Yamazaki 18, I think, one time. I think I had. Let me check. It was 18, if I remember.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but...
Want to avoid numbers when you're doing your culips.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Alright, so let's just line it up. And there might be a couple hints. And let's see if this works.
Good to see you again.
Nope. May have to go a little bit farther. Hello. So let's have a look, see.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
Nope. We have to go farther.
A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it.
I think we're pretty close. Because I remember, ay, ay, ay. When he shakes his head, it's when he says, ay, ay, ay.
You won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity.
We're pretty close, let's see.
Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas.
Mm.
Ay, ay, such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Okay, that's it. That's the scene. So, it's time to make adjustments. First of all, what I like to do, I'm going to save it first off. I always save these things before I work on them. All right, so I'm going to split or break. It's known. There you go. It's probably, yeah, that's going to work. So this here, I'm going to find out. I think here. Okay. So the first thing is the shoulders need to be slightly forward. So I'm going to make that adjustment, and I think it's motion correction. No, motion modifier. See if they actually have that. Do you have popcorn effects, right? I do, but I don't use it. I work in primarily Niagara. So we need, I wonder, yeah, it looks like the shoulders aren't having problems with the shoulders. So I don't really use that. Just like I said, I don't use popcorn. I use Niagara visual effects. Well, I'm slowly learning chaos too. So let's make some quick adjustments to the character. So for him, I want him to kind of stare. So let's make some adjustments. Number one is here. Oh, okay, something's happening. Maybe that's a local thing. Probably going to have to adjust here. Yeah, it's just I like I said, if you're looking into, I would learn kind of Unreal's tools a bit if you're interested in the program. It's just chaos is kind of a little bit complex, so that's something to keep in mind. But I would learn it. Slowly getting used to it. Let's just move the shoulders. Let's make sure. Let's actually fix his posture a bit. What I might, I don't know. What I might do. Let's make sure he's staring down here. But yeah, I would just learn, like I said, just learn. Like I said, popcorn's okay for iClone, but if you're just working with, if you want to expand into Unreal, then I would strongly, I mean, it's pretty much very similar setups, you know, except that you're not paying a lot of money. You can get visual, like, you know, stuff from the marketplace, of course, and there's always going to be support, but with popcorn, it seems like one of those ideas where they just kind of got into it first, but then they just kind of forgot or didn't pay too much attention. They got everything they needed. I think that's my impression of it, but there we go. Can you export lights? Nope, just do it in Unreal. Don't like you can do it through LiveLink, but to be honest with you, build everything in Unreal. Unreal is your production pipeline. Don't even bother with a camera. Like iClone cameras, this camera system, you want to just make sure, like I said, iClone itself is basically your animation and blocking. This is basically what I use iClone for only. I don't worry about lights. I don't worry about camera because it's not my, you know, it's just too much work. Plus, you're going to have to make adjustments, and there's also the special rectangular light that iClone doesn't have. So, in cameras, there's not a you know, it's pretty basic cameras that you're going to bring in that you're going to eventually edit. So don't do it. Don't bother. Just do everything, and not only that, but you can work with rails and cranes and everything. There's a whole production pipeline. I feel like you're just only limiting yourself to. I mean, iClone is great for blocking. So the more you know, it's just one of those things. Don't waste your time. Animation and blocking like what I'm doing right now, where the characters are kind of standing and set here. So this is something I usually think about, where my characters are going to stand. You probably see me talk about this earlier tonight, where my characters. So I'm going to have them here, have the camera here. So when I build my set, I mean, when I actually have the set built, I just need to know where the characters are standing. So I just kind of have them interact here. Yeah, blocking. It's a film expression. I'll give you a term. So, it's just where the actors are in the scene, body language, and all that stuff. So, so I want my characters to stand, let's say in the set, I want them to stand here and here. Maybe there's a couple stuff, how they interact. So that's blocking, that kind of thing. I just need to know where my characters are. So I think iClone does a pretty good job at that. That's why I'm working on this right now. I mean, literally, this is pretty much like the one thing I always think about. Like, this is where my character is. Like, the set's already done. And you probably, here, I'll show you guys pretty soon what it looks like. But I just want the acting and everything just the way I want it. So I have a character sitting here. I'll probably have another character here when he interacts. And then I'll probably put markers down. So where they are. So, once I know where the markers are, I can actually have the characters go through. So that's how I usually animate. Like I said, this is when you're working with the FBX method, you're going to have to do some planning. And the more you plan, the more you know where you're blocking your scenes, the easier it's going to be for you. If not, you're going to have a little bit of a tough time, especially how your characters interact with one another. So let's have a look here. Okay, so I want him. So I'm just kind of doing some basic, I'm just kind of fixing the arm position here. And then eventually I'm going to have to smooth the animation out.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
And then, and he'll probably look down here. And then I kind of do more advanced. So it's a layered process here. So this is just basic mocap editing.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
Probably fix that arm. So when he says, so I want him. Can we use, yeah, you can just bring in your animation. It's an FBX. You can bring in FBX animation. It's very easy. It's just that it's a pain in the ass. Because a lot of it is over exaggerated. I have it somewhere here. You could just easily do it. You could, for real. Yeah, just export as an FBX and bring it in. That's it. Yep, we gotta fix that. So just like that.
A man of...
And he's right there. Once I have to smooth out the animation, but once I kind of fix it here, and not only that, but kind of move with the body, it's gonna look pretty good.
Man of refined taste in liquor and women.
Maybe it'll kind of turn. Probably want him to turn too, so.
refined taste in liquor and women.
Just remember, he's looking here. He's looking directly into him.
Yamazaki 25. Liquor and women.
So I want, like I said, I want him to focus here. That's the main point. He needs to look into James. And body language too is important. So I think it's more like a presentation. So I'll have to fix the arm. I'll have to do a bunch of stuff.
Yamazaki.
Yep. So fix that. So Yamazaki 25, which is what, the $20,000.
Yamazaki 25.
Like what, 25, at least a $20,000 bottle of whiskey.
5.
I want him
I would
kind of here. Like I said, we need just to edit. Yeah, you just need to export in FBX. You don't really need to do much. It's a lot easier just to work in FBX. The only thing is you're going to have to do it bulk. You're going to have to do it in bulk, which I think I have it somewhere here. I have it. So this stuff was from Unreal Engine and all that. It's tedious, especially building all the folders and everything. This is it. This is the one. This is it. So I'm not going to do it to this character here because you're going to have to actually edit this. You're going to have to go through all that, and yeah. I think I stopped halfway because I'm like, I don't need this.
25.
Oh, we have a glitch.
I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it.
So this, like you said, there's a little bit glitch here.
And
Oh. Yeah, you'll notice this. Yes. Yep, so we're going to have to fix that. So I'm going to have to use the curve editor to fix.
green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas.
Yep, so he needs to look. Here you are. That we'll have to fix some of the hands as well. So yes.
Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas. Man of refined taste in liquor and women.
We're going to have to fix a lot of that.
Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Well,
So yeah, this is kind of a glimpse at what a Rokoko mocap suit can do. Just in iClone, what it looks like.
yes, here you are. Such a
Not only that, but I'm going to have to edit some of the hand animation too. So
such
fix that.
a poor move to
Fix that.
move to trespass. Trespass, Mr. Bond.
I have to fix a lot of these little glitches here, so you can do that with the curve editor. And then I kind of did I delete it? Oh my god, I hate this. Oh, that's okay. Oh no. Deleted it. Ah, well, I can just record again. I already saved it. God dang it. I'll just record again. So it's simple. All parts, optimize it. Darn it. Can't believe I just did that. Oh well, I think one at a time, then I can just make edits here. So press F. You can tell this thing's a little bit of a mess. So let's optimize everything. Okay. Fix this. Let's do like 8. See where we can come up with here. And let's flatten it.
I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green... Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
I think that is pretty good as it is, but there could be a lot more refinement. But yeah, this isn't too bad. You know, we need to fix the hand.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green... Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
So for him, since I screwed up and accidentally deleted over it, sorry, my foot fell asleep. So I had to move it over. I need to go through here and go and fix it. So let's go to animation, motion. Let's go to animation. Let's go to mail. Idle. I think this works pretty well. Actually, what I want is I want the upper body. I think something like this could work pretty well. So let's see how this works.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25.
And right there, so probably. I probably have to swing through like that. You know, just make small adjustments. Just like this. Right there. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it.
I would have offered you glass.
And paste. Right there, so let's just bring in the arm just like this. And you that?
But
Oh.
you won't live long.
And paste.
Long enough to properly enjoy it. And 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it.
I think you may have to.
Green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are.
We may have to actually adjust the body a bit. So what I might do is just save.
Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, we may need to. What I might need to do is kind of step the feet up here and kind of fix his body a bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten it again. Just make small adjustments. So yeah, you just need to let's turn his body more in this direction. Let's see where it is. Like I said, I'm probably going to have to straighten it out. At most, just most like this. Oh my god, Ben, what the hell?
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
Like I said, it's just kind of an adjustment.
Ah, A man of refined taste in liquor.
What would do? Now that wouldn't work. Obviously, fix that.
And women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy.
Oh, we'll disjoint it here, so we'll just do this. It's just this is broken. Oof. Back is curved. Instead, I'm probably gonna have to fix everything here. Let's just make sure.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. A man of refined taste in
It's one of those cases where I'm probably just ruining it as I go along, but eventually I'll just get my way there.
and women. Yamazaki 20. 25. I would have offered you glass, but
Also, kind of fix the hand just like that there.
I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, we'll just.
Ay, ay, ay.
And then I would.
Ay. Do it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas.
Okay, where is he staring?
Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Alright, so you there you go.
Won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Okay. Just gotta fix that arm.
You won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Okay. So I want him. So something's a little weird with the hands here. So let's just fix that quickly. Want like this. Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
Mr. Bond. I want him. Mr. Bond. I want to actually combine some hand animation. So let's look at gestures. Yamazaki 25. A prong. So if I do here, not a prong, but let's relax B could be good for temporary. Mr. Bond, and then clamp shut. You're trapped. So let's copy this pose. So
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
so right here, and then I want here, and then clamp. Boop.
See you again, Mr. Bond.
Clamp. Open, clamp. Clench fist. Because he knows he's got him. There's a little bit of aggression too, big pain in the ass. That's how he sees him. Open, clench. Just like that.
A man of refined taste.
And then it should be more of a and then it kind of goes back to a relaxed state here. And then
Man of refined taste in liquor and women.
and right there.
Taste in liquor and women.
And then yeah, probably like this.
Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are.
I want that. Here you are. For the left hand, I want that open too.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but
And probably what I would do shooting, he would be on the right, on the left, and then beep, beep, kind of here.
you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it.
And then kind of look at the...
And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
I think that could work very well.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
Probably make slow adjustments of the body.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25.
Oh, let's see what the hand is doing.
25.
I want to see like... Yep, let's get that fixed.
5.
Yep, there we go.
I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are.
Here you are. And I think the hands should be like spread out, like both hands spread out. Here you are. I think working with hands, major thing to really focus on. Always work. I think not many people really think about that with the hands. Just like the gestures is huge. You want, let's do stroke. So for here, let's just do both poses. Okay, that. Put paste. Eventually.
Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
So, right there. Yeah, you can see where it's kind of coming together after all the rough animation and everything. How it looked at the beginning to what it looks like now.
A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
So, this works pretty well. Let's find that.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. A man of refined taste.
It's kind of.
Fine taste in. A man of refined taste in liquor and.
Yeah, we'll have to do the left arm eventually. Probably a different layer or something.
Mr. Bond? A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass.
Yeah, let's just do a layer cut to it. Okay.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
The head.
Mr. Bond? Mr. Bond?
I might have really screwed this up, but that's okay. I'll probably repair it. Shit. All right. So let's try bone root and base hip.
Bond? See you again, Mr. Bond.
Let me make it smoother.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Again, Mr. Bond. A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are.
Yeah, I really fucked it up. I don't know. I really screwed it up, everyone. I really screwed that up. Oh well. Well, let's just keep going until we ruin it further and further.
I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move.
Why is he leaning back? I have to really fix. I'm gonna have to fix all that shit. I really screwed that up. God dang it.
Mr. Bond? A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass.
I think we can lean here. Look here. Hey, you know what? This can be saved. What am I doing?
25. I would have 25. I 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't.
And then when he says there, that's probably go right through here.
Yes, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. such a pity. But alas, such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Ah, you know what? That's not bad.
Mr. Bond? A man of refined taste. A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Okay, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Yeah. Congratulations, Ben. You actually did something. Okay.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Good to see you again, Mr. Bond.
Now for legs to do a can. We'll see.
A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy.
Let's see.
But you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, such a pity. But alas, alas, here you are. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, ay, such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Okay. Alright, let's just fix the errors of our left. Oh, you little bastard. It doesn't matter.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And
And green. Ay, 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 such a pity.
green. Ay, 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 such a pity.
What are you doing with your arm? There. Probably gonna have to fix that, but
Alas, a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond. At 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
yeah, probably be framing. What? No.
man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond.
There we go.
I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
All right.
A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Where is that saying?
Move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Hmm. There we go. I think that could be pretty good for this scene.
And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. See you again, Mr. Bond.
Okay. Shoot.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. 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 Ah. Again, Mr. Bond. Bond. Again, Mr. Bond. Ah. Mr. Bond. Ah. Mr. Bond. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green... Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, Bond. Ah, again, Mr. Bond. Ah, good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green... Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
I think this is pretty good for the night. Ah, yeah, especially once I get the facial expressions down.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, a man of refined taste in liquor. Ah, a man of refined... Man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green... And green... Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
I think this will work pretty well.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Ah, Bond. Bond. Mr. Bond. Ah, again, Mr. Bond. A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond. See you again, Mr. Bond.
I think it is the waist that's doing that. Okay, delete.
See you again, Mr. Bond. Bond.
Something is causing that issue, and it's just pointing me to no end. It's kind of cool.
Bond.
No, that's not gonna work. No, don't save it. Don't save it.
Bond.
Yeah, I think that'll work. All right. All right.
Good to see you again, Mr. Bond. A man of refined.
That's no. Let's try neck twist.
Again, Mr. Bond. Bond. A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, I think tomorrow I'm gonna do just make some small adjustments here, lip sync, and then probably bring it into Unreal Engine just to see how he looks, test it out. I'm gonna show you guys the set really quickly. Like I said, always build your sets in Unreal. Build your sets in Unreal first. Don't just wait till iClone. Just build your sets, animate in iClone, and then do the rest. The more control you have on Unreal, the better off you'll be. That's the thing. The more any control you have, the better off you'll be.
A man of refined taste in liquor and women. Yamazaki, 25. I would have offered you glass, but you won't live long enough to properly enjoy it. And green. Ay, 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 such a pity. But alas, here you are. Such a poor move to trespass, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, once I have the facial expressions down, probably make some smaller tweaks to the editing, and then finally kind of go through this. Keep in mind, this scene is like approximately 4 minutes. So how do I make 4 minutes of a character monologuing interesting? That's going to be a challenge. That is going to be challenging. So let's talk about the scene. Don't have the chair yet. I'm going to have to design one. All right. So, probably gonna have to change everything, but still, that's kind of the scene to work with. Lighting's pretty simple. Yeah, I gotta fix the annoying lens flares, but pretty simple approach. Probably here. I would say probably put him here. Even rearrange everything, but so I would probably film it like this. Probably shots, build suspense. I have a couple of shot ideas. I could probably build suspense with that. I know how to approach this scene. So I'm gonna have to expand the scene out a bit more. go through here. Probably film like up here. Probably have a table here. Toolbox. Starts back up. Yeah, I know exactly how to shoot this, so look, camera probably be, I would say 54, 55 millimeter. I'll have to design the chair, probably redesign everything here. Expand this out, probably something so you don't see the edge of the set. Probably something here, trees along the line here. The lighting. How are we going to approach the lighting? So you have a light source here, so we may have to film here. Put him on the left. Because the way I see it, I'd love to have this kind of lighting here. Shadow. Shadow fills the left side of the face. So do I approach the lighting differently? Do I put the character here? Do I put the character here instead? And fix the lighting. Those are moments I have to think about. Would I like this? That's the moment. Sorry, I'm just kind of lost in my own thought process. When I bring the character, actually, I'll probably, well, yeah, well, I have the character here. Let's bring him in. How would I approach this? I think someone asked me I forgot who was asking me about lighting. Get good lighting, sorry. I forgot. Somebody was in here the other day. Yeah, let's put them in for my, let's just do the Russia. Whatever. The outfit's a little different. Oh, yes, that's the scene. There we go. That's exactly the kind of lighting I want. Instead, what I want here, so let's get this light here. Let's copy it. What I want, establish lighting here and here. Change it to like 1, 2 lumen maybe. Let's get rid of these freaking lens flares. I hate. Let's get rid of them. Let's apply an animation to him. may have, let's actually, what I want here, probably delete this light. We go here, and we film from here, this kind of light. We use this angle to film here. I want this kind of light in half, like this Rembrandt covering light in here. Because his angle, when he talks, is, and I don't want the glint in his eye. I want it to be something. This is what you know. I don't want the glint in the eye, but I want a strong backlight here. So let's give him one of these. A pretty good strong backlight for him. But I don't want it to. What I don't want is to cover the shadow. I want a backlight, but not enough to wipe away. Here, so let's do like 2. My problem is, I may have to actually intensify. There we go. Want to do this. I think even crazier. I want some kind of haze. I want something unsettling. So here, let's do volumetric. That's it. That's it right there. And let's actually increase the volume of the noise of the fog to like 4. What? Well, let's actually do 1.5. What I want is to increase. You know, I want noise. Something like this. Easy. When we film here, once we get the facial expression, right? Where's my lights? I want this, this, volumetric scatter intensity. Let's do it at like a 4, like a 3 or 4. I want it so. See these little lights here, if you're still around. Whoops. Mean everything. So I think that's the lighting I want for this scene. Just something. I want noise. I want pure noise to this. Maybe there's some scattering. Let's go with 2. Actually, 0.8. Did I put bloom in? I don't think I did. Oh no, I did put bloom in. How strong was the bloom? Let's do convulsion. Like 4. Actually, we'll just do standard. Here. Yeah, this is it. With the proper lights here. We'll probably put groundscape over here somewhere. I'm looking over. When he talks. He'll be over there. I think that's it. Still want trees here, but I think this could be pretty good. There's detail. Oh, that, but there's a little bounce back to the light, but the light here would illuminate him. A little bit of intensity. Bond would probably be, I would give Bond here, give him some heat. Sit here, his lighting, probably just a high key, he gets low key. Groundscape, probably high key too. So he's probably the one that gets this kind of lighting. You tell the story by light. So high key lighting, possible high key. I have to see how it works for him. Bond will get high key lighting. He will get more low key dramatic lighting. No glint in the eye. Nothing. When he does his monologue. That'll do. I think that will do. So when I film this tomorrow, by the time I get the facial expressions, I'll probably do a test run and see if it works. There. You build it. That's why. Like, this is, yeah. With iClone, yeah, you probably have to assemble the lights and weapons you bring in Unreal. It doesn't work. You're probably going to have to rebuild again. That's why. So with his scene there, watch the lighting. Get this really nice dramatic effect. Oh, well, so yeah, that's my little lighting thing. This is kind of my thought process with lighting. So I forgot who asked me that question when it comes to making your characters look good. And it's lighting and none of that, but there's more to light. There's like a storytelling, who to trust, who you don't trust, why they get certain kinds of lighting, why they don't. What makes it good? So you have something like noise, all this noise here, the fog and everything just kind of brings a little sense of drama. Compared, you kind of saw how dramatically that changed your scene. And I think it's going to do pretty well for this one. So, yeah, that'll do. Just remember, iClone's good for blocking animation, but this kind of thought process, you can get some really good characters. Like some really good rendering and visuals and everything, but there's like a thought process to it. There's no I win button or easy button. The more you know, the more you think like, hey, I can do this and this and this, and it's going to change your lighting and everything, your impact. No, the more like you have this vision and how to work with it and tell the story, the better off you'll be. And it's quite important. So, yeah. I'm tired. It's almost